Buenas
Buenas
noches.
noches.
Buenas noches. ¿Cómo están? Muy buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Es un gusto verlos. All right.
Excelente.
Excelente.
All right. Find the chat box. Find the chat box. If you are new, perdón.
Oh,
Coughing over
hey,
here.
thanks. You need a mask.
If you are new to these meetings, go ahead and introduce yourself. If this is your second or third meeting, we are so excited that you guys are joining us. Everyone is joining us, but if you're new, I'm Leslie Foster. This is
Rory, mucho
Foster,
gusto.
and we have Vanessa with us this evening.
Yep. Vanessa, where are you?
Here. Hola.
All
Hi,
right.
everyone.
Bienvenida, Vanessa. Okay, muy bien, muy bien. Man, I'm busy letting people in. You
I
better just take
know.
control, boss.
All right. So find that chat box. Tell us where you're logging in from. We have people from all over the country, which is awesome. And we're all going to meet together here soon, either in Ecuador or Costa Rica. Right. I need to take off my blur so people can see you.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Well, I'm not so great to look at anyway. You could just leave it.
All right. Okay. So in the chat box, we want to know a little español inglés. Pongan un número uno si has empezado a listar las maletas. Número uno, if you have begun to get your bags ready, or número dos, if you haven't.
Are you uno or dos, Leslie?
Well, I wish I could tilt my screen so you could see the floor of
No,
my office.
They don't want to see that. They don't want to see
That's
that.
un desastre.
So are you uno or dos?
I'm 1.2.
Uno punto
Cinco.
dos. Okay,
Sí.
uno punto cinco. All right.
All
Very
right.
good.
Okay. So we have a cerro. 1 week. Juan ya empezó. One week.
Yeah, Juan ya está.
Okay. We're saying 1 week because Juan is with us tonight on Zoom, but has already started his program in Ecuador. It's a special
Juan,
program for
excelente.
him. 1 week.
That's right. Muy bien, muy bien.
All right. Excelente. Okay. Pongan un número 3 si has bajado la aplicación de WhatsApp. El número 4 si no.
Casi todos tienen WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, hay dos o tres que no, pero casi todos.
Okay.
That's right, Jill. I tried you today and I noticed you were not there.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Here's
Who
the
else?
deal with WhatsApp. That is our main mode or method of communication while on program, and the 2 to 3 days before our program begins. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Costa Rica WhatsApp group, we're not managing yet. We're not officially going to start information until next week.
Yeah.
But Ecuador, we're going to get started here probably tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay. With information. So that is our main method of communication. For example, if there's a change in our plan and everyone is already on program and they're at their host families and our bus gets canceled or something, we need to move back the horario by 1 hour, it's going to go in the WhatsApp. So that is how we communicate with everyone through WhatsApp.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the Rice family has a great question in there, and it does relate to WhatsApp. So when you arrive to country, yes, that's exactly what we'll do, Katie, is we'll be getting local chips for our phones.
You want to read the questions?
Yeah, the question is, I read that when I get to Costa Rica, I should just buy a new SIM card for my phone. Do you have thoughts? Yeah, so that's what we do. We put a local SIM card in. That gives you a local data connection. You don't have to, like Verizon for us is really expensive. It's like $10 a day, and over 6 weeks, that adds up to a lot. And so we just purchased the local SIMs, and that gives you data connection. However, with WhatsApp, it gives you the option to keep your US phone number as your WhatsApp contact. That's what I suggest you do, so that you don't have to go and other people have to change their number for you. All right, great. So the numbers, Denise, indicating about WhatsApp are that number 3, if you already have it downloaded, you're good to go. Number 4, you don't have
We're
it.
just warming up in the chat while everyone. Okay, I have another one. True or false? Cierto or falso? Necesito llevar mascarilla en Ecuador.
Ooh, cierto, falso. Mascarilla
wear
in
my
Ecuador.
face mask in Ecuador.
Actually, I should do this, mascarilla, not just this, mascarilla.
Yeah.
This, mascarilla.
Okay, right.
Right,
Es cierto, right?
Sí.
Es la verdad. Necesitan usar mascarilla en Ecuador. There's still an indoor mask mandate in Ecuador.
Yep.
Y Costa Rica, cierto or falso? Cierto or falso? Okay, we're kind of mixed on this one. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so here's the deal. What's happening in Costa Rica right now, the mask mandate was dropped about 2 weeks ago on a provisional status. So they're going to evaluate it at the end of the month, end of June. And if cases are up, they've talked about reinstating the indoor mask mandate. So the short story is bring your masks because we're going to have to be flexible.
Yeah. Okay. I have another cierto falso.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to send us a negative COVID test before you travel.
Yeah. Cierto o falso.
Cierto. All right. Muy bien, muy bien.
Okay, we've been stating that since the beginning, but we're still getting asked this question. You are correct. Ecuador and Costa Rica do not require you to have a negative COVID test to get in the country. However,
Boss lady requires it.
we do require it. And here's why. We are gonna, your host family is opening their doors to you. We need to make sure that you're healthy. And we are working with some marginalized populations, some vulnerable populations in both countries doing volunteer work. And that is how we are able to continue this part of the program, showing that we are healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay, so a couple questions about that. So how do you prove your witness witnessed it? Sarah, we're just going to take your word for it. Okay.
Honor system.
Okay. All right. At-home test. Yes, totally fine. Negative test, but no health form. Okay. For Costa Rica, yes. For Ecuador, there's still a health form you fill out online.
We're going to
okay.
get to that tonight in the meeting. So it can be a home test. It can be, PCR, whatever lab test, but just send in the results. If it's a home test, literally take a picture of it and email it or email it to Samantha. Not very nice right now.
That's right. Samantha. Yep.
Okay. support@commongroundnational.com. 72 hours before departure. So Ecuador, you guys can start doing it.
Yeah.
All right. Start doing it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and put our Google Doc in the chat real quick. And while we're doing that,
I'm going to get some breakout rooms going while you're doing that.
Ecuador participants, because we leave on Saturday. Okay. We want to know, put a número 5 in el chat if you have contacted your host family in Ecuador. Let's see. Actually, I can't see my chat yet. Let me get it set up. Okay. All right. Some people at número 5 have contacted their host family in Ecuador. That's fantastic. Okay. Costa Rica participants, we are working on your host families. You will get them at some point next week. And
probably toward the end of the week.
Where you can find your host family information is we're going to send you an email and we're going to say, log in to your pre-departure course, because there's a host family lesson. There's a 5-minute video we want you to watch about your host family. And then there's a button to click that says, I want to see my host family. You're going to download that, see your host family. And then there is a little WhatsApp guion guide or plantilla, a little template for you to use to contact your host family in Espanol. So we give the vocabulary to introduce yourself and to try to send a message in Espanol.
Looks like Janice got a funny note when now hopefully that was just like an automated, they had a setting on there, do not disturb.
That's what I have on my phone.
They didn't respond to you, do not disturb. Okay, yeah, they were probably just busy working or something. All right.
So where we are going tonight, los objetivos de esta noche, we're going to talk about host family expectations. You guys are going to break up into randomized breakout rooms and talk about that. We're going to give you some prompts. We're going to clarify some volunteer planning questions. There's a lot of different projects, lots of different groups. So we're going to spend some time doing that. We have a whole list of travel logistics and friendly reminders. So this is where we say, abrochen los cinturones, buckle up, because it's a lot of going through little reminders. We still have lista de delincuentes, okay, which is supposed to be taken care of a few weeks ago. So if you're on this list, you're
shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Okay. Delinquent list. Okay. So it's down below. We'll show you in a little bit. Enlaces are links, enlaces importantes for you to reference. Okay. And then next steps. And then we're going to end with questions, and we're also going to end with some, Rory's going to add it in here. Volunteer breakout rooms. If you want to get together with your partner and we're going to create a space for you to get together and do some fine tuning. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Optional.
Opcional.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's get started.
Okay. So Ecuador participants, this is just a little something funny to know. If you can remember your host mother's name, put it in the chat.
Ooh.
Let's see. Host mother's name. Oh, there we go. Jen, Patricia, Gladys, Regina, Nancy, Maria. There we go. Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Okay. And some of you have already sent, I already asked that question. Okay, Costa Rica, you're going to receive your host family at the end of next week. A common question that we get around this time is, what type of gift should I bring my host family? It is customary to, when you arrive into someone's home, to give them a gift. It could be a token of appreciation. You could save it for the end of your stay as a thank you. It could be thank you at the beginning for welcoming me into your life, your host family. So what are some ideas? Go ahead and put it in the chat. What are some ideas for gifts? Now, in that host family video, we give you some ideas for gifts, but go ahead. And if you have some great ideas for host family gifts, it doesn't need to be big, doesn't need to be expensive.
Cute souvenirs from our city, a tea towel, rompecabezas. All right. Yeah. A puzzle. Excelente. Any other ideas for a photograph of our city? Casino cards from Vegas. All right, muy bien.
All right.
Okay, typical
honey
stuff
from my bees.
Oh,
how
that's
awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Nutella,
yum.
Maple syrup.
See?
All right, you guys got it. So local gifts are great. Also gifts that that can spark conversation, like card games, maybe from your state. There's picture cards from your state, or
explaining beekeeping process.
Explaining the beekeeping process. Some of our high schoolers have already started in Costa Rica, and one high school participant in particular brought her grandmother's 3 favorite recipes down to Costa Rica, and they were going to cook. She was going to go to the store with her host family and cook together and prepare. I think it was like a dessert, an appetizer, and a main meal. I thought that was just a great idea because that brings the family together. Yeah.
Excelente.
All right.
Okay, muy bien. All right, we switched our headings here. Thanks, whoever mentioned that in the chat. Okay, perfecto. Let's talk about host families. We're going to send you off into some small groups, groups of 2 to 3. And what we want you to do is to talk through what some realistic expectations are for your host family, one thing you're looking forward to, or something you're nervous about with your host family, and any particular questions you might have. We're going to spend about, what do you think, like 5 minutes chatting through this stuff?
Yeah. And you guys have editing privileges to this document. So you can go ahead and assign a scribe. Okay. One person per group to edit or to add to this document. And I'm going to drop it in the chat again. Okay, but expectations, questions, what questions you have, go ahead and put in the document, or just note them somewhere else, and then what you're looking forward to and what you are nervous about. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
Let's go. And we'll take about 5 minutos in your groups to chat through these questions.
Perfecto. Okay. Ya están regresando. Okay, excelente. All right.
We've got some good questions. We've got some good expectations in your host families. Speaking lots of Spanish, absolutely. That's the goal here, right? The goal is to really get yourself surrounded with Spanish, and where conversation might be slow, initiate, offer help, and you're interacting with your host family as much as possible. Okay, and questions. How far away is the house from classes? So most of you are going to be within a 10 to 20 minute walk to and from our meetup points throughout the day. You can plan to be on your feet a good bit. Make sure you've got some shoes you're comfortable walking in. And in fact, if you've been checking the weather, make sure you've got some shoes that you're okay walking in wet rain in, okay? Because it's been particularly rainy in Ecuador right now.
In Costa Rica, as I said, we have a group in Costa Rica right now. It's raining as well. In the mornings it's sunny, but it rains. Okay, so some people think couldn't edit the document, but you can go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. But one, can you drink the water in Ecuador? Sí or no? Can you drink it out of the tap? No. Okay.
That's
You don't want to
right.
do that.
No, you definitely cannot in Ecuador. So it's your host family will boil water or have
filtered
bottled
water.
filtered water
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
In Costa Rica, can you fill up your water bottle right under the tubo, the tap? Yes, you can. Okay, so Costa Rica can drink the water. Ecuador, you cannot. Okay. In Ecuador and Costa Rica, can you put toilet paper down the toilet? No, you cannot. Okay, it'll plug those tuberías, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So typically I'm looking at a laundry question. How often did your host family do laundry? You can expect at least once a week, okay, to do laundry, but just like all families are different here in the US, I don't know about your household, but we do laundry every single day.
Way too much laundry.
My
here.
sister-in-law does it on Thursdays, one day a week, which is just mind-boggling to me. So in Ecuador, also the families will explain when they will do laundry. Every family is a little bit different. Okay, so if they don't explain it, you can ask. Okay, what's a good day to do laundry if I have laundry? Where should I put my dirty laundry? Things like that.
Yeah.
But once a week at least, they'll be doing laundry. Okay, other questions? I'm looking in the chat.
Let me see. I saw a message in there about getting sick from the food, being anxious about getting sick from the food. Everybody gets sick going to Ecuador. I don't, everybody's probably a stretch. I mean, getting sick when you travel is common. However, probably a lot of that sickness has to do with drinking some water. But in general, I think that we can be pretty confident in the food. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm seeing some chatter in the chat stream about showering. Okay. We need, and this is actually from the program director.
Yeah.
In Ecuador and Costa Rica, please shower every day. Okay. It may be a cold shower, but both these countries take hygiene very, very seriously.
Yeah.
And the director brought this up to us in Ecuador because they have had volunteers working at the schools that literally stink so bad because either they don't shower, adults, we're talking about adults. Okay. Either they don't shower or they shower, but put on dirty clothes, and the kids at the school comment about how they smell. So
yeah, let's
let's
just be normal. Shower every day, use your deodorant, and if you've got some perfume, put that on, cologne, yeah, use that. Okay, great.
Yeah, altitude sickness in Ecuador, we're at 8,000 feet in Otavalo, so it could be an issue. So you'll want to be sure to hydrate. Okay, start hydrating before you travel, and with water, have some electrolyte tablets as well. And so that's something that we'll keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there's a question in there about would it be rude in Costa Rica to drink bottled water? No, just explain whatever you've got to, there's all sorts of indirect ways to, to talk about stuff like, no, I just have a delicate stomach. I need to drink bottled water. Okay. So let's see. What if you forget and put toilet paper in the toilet? Well, hopefully
you don't need to dig it out.
Okay. Yeah, you don't need to dig it out. Hopefully it's just a little bit. You remember like after the first square or whatever. But yeah, try in general not to. I remember when I was traveling in Mexico, the first time I was a young college student, 96, I think was the year. And I put the toilet paper in the toilet. I somehow missed that in my pre-departure preparation. And of course I destroyed the toilet. And my host father that day at dinner was like, why would you ever put toilet paper in the toilet? What were you thinking? And I was just like, gee, I really don't know. I'm so sorry. So yeah, let's not do it. And it goes with feminine products too.
Yeah, I want to address the question about safety. So you should know that Rory and I have personally, this is why we have chosen Otavalo and Santo Domingo, because they are safe small, typical lifestyle towns. Okay. So
Places that we're comfortable with our children, our son
litmus
and two
test,
daughters
yeah, has always
doing the
been
program.
our
Yeah.
kids. Okay. We have drugged them around in utero, when they're crawling, when they're just being able to walk. Now our son is 18 years old. They have gone with us in every stage of life, and we feel safe sending them to the pulperia, or the little corner store by themselves, walking together as a group. Okay. So it is safe. However, just common sense, like no phones in your back pocket, no wallets in your back pocket. You will stand out. You're a tourist. It is assumed that you have more resources, more money. Okay. And we want to just limit crimes of opportunity. Okay. You don't want to give people opportunities. Same goes with if you sit down at a restaurant, you don't want to put your purse on the back of the chair or your backpack on the back of the chair, because that does happen on our programs where
sometimes stuff goes missing.
Yeah, sometimes stuff goes missing. So you always want to have it at your feet or on your lap, but close to your body.
Yep.
Okay. Good question.
All right, let's take a look at some of these in the doc here. So what you're looking forward to, having conversations, making family connections. Absolutely. This is the purpose of the host family. And what you're nervous about, not eating everything, it's okay. We'll help you with some phrasing to explain that maybe something doesn't sit well with you, some good excuse type phrases if you're not happy about something that ends up on your plate, and to not offend someone. The weather, yeah, it's going to be a little cooler in Ecuador, and it won't be so cold in Costa Rica, but it will be, we'll have warm mornings and then some rainy afternoons. This last one here, and what I'm concerned about, that someone might be wanting to speak too much English to me. This is our commitment, right? Our group commitment is to always at least start in Spanish. And we really need to hold to that commitment so that everyone has the experience of not only just growing in their own Spanish and flexing that muscle, that communicative muscle, but also giving others as much Spanish as possible.
Absolutely.
So, all right, what else we got in the chat stream?
I think we need to move on, and then I see some kind of personalized questions that we'll stay on afterwards.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
And answer those questions.
Okay.
Just so we can honor everyone's time.
Sure. Let's do
okay. So, Rory, take us away with volunteer work.
Yeah. So volunteer work. Let's, we want to just open it up for some questions that you might have about the volunteer projects, and some projects are more defined than others at this stage right now. That's fine. But if you've got some questions about the volunteer work, let's take those now and go ahead and drop them in the into the chat area there. And then at the end of the meeting, like Leslie mentioned earlier, we're going to take some time to, if you want to work with your partner for a little bit on some things, or within the group on some specific volunteer topics, then we'll create some breakouts and allow some time for that. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's get going.
What does the
here.
medical volunteer work in Costa Rica entail? Okay, I'm going to refer you to the pre-departure course, because there is a ton of information in the pre-departure course about the medical work, but we're working specifically with an organization called SEDCUS, and there's specific projects in there that we do a video about, and it's also explained in a Google Doc. Yeah,
in short, the projects are they want to receive some education about some less common STIs, and using breast milk formula and proper use of formula and things like that. That, in short, are the topics. Okay, Denise, still working on it. This doctor I'm working with is just so busy, like all these doctors. He barely has any time to get back to me. So anyway, I am definitely working on it. There's nothing defined yet, Denise. So,
okay, Caitlin, in Ecuador, we're going to have a day of just getting to know the school, getting to know the teachers, and some preparation. Then we're going to jump into the classrooms there.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
all right. What other questions do we have about volunteer work?
I'm going to address one that came in to me today on my text, but how do we know which volunteer projects we're going to be a part of? Well, it's organized on that Google Doc, which is in your pre-departure course, by week. So you find your week that you're going to be there. It says which groups are going to be doing which projects, and then that's how it's organized.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
Casey's asking, can we get links for some medical vocabulary?
Yes,
for Reed?
yes, Casey. I know that we have some STI vocab and stuff that I need to share out. I did a quick search in my Quizlet sets and I don't have one. So basically I need to make one. I just haven't had time yet, but it is on my list. I will get it to you before we travel. Okay. So let's see what here.
Folder. Okay, so Katie says for donations, the list says folders, but not notebooks. Is there not a need for notebooks? Is it okay to donate small toys? Yes. And
Notebooks are fine.
yeah, notebooks
Yeah.
are fine.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out why I did that, but notebooks are fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, Hot Wheels are great. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do, some of you have submitted your rough draft plan, okay, to me, which is awesome. You followed that lesson planning template that some of the teachers have submitted to me. So we're going to give you time at the end of this meeting today to we're going to put you in breakout rooms with your partner so you can work through some of the details.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're really planned, you can actually rehearse it with one another. So we're going to reserve that.
Katie has a
end.
question about Campamento Lapa Green. Will we be indoors or outdoors? So there is a space for both, correct?
There are there's an outdoor space which can fit 2 stations. So there can be 2 outdoor stations and then the rest are going to be in individual classrooms.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then is there some that is under a roofed area, but kind of outdoors or
In the back.
not really? Okay.
And then Jen is asking, were we assigned partners or just supposed to find someone? Just supposed to meet a new friend and find someone.
So the best way to do that, Jen, is to based on the topics and to select a topic that is interesting to you and then your partner and possibly there's someone else with that topic as well. Okay. All right. Where are we at, hon?
Okay, we're gonna go return to volunteer work at the end of this meeting.
Yes, we
so we
will.
can go through this stuff. But we're at this part of travel logistics and friendly reminders. So WhatsApp, most of you are already in the Ecuador and the Costa Rica group. Ecuador will start communicating important stuff probably
Yeah.
tomorrow and Friday. Costa Rica not till the end of next week. Okay. Or
If I could just say something, if you didn't get an invitation or a notice on your WhatsApp, it's because the number that I had for you maybe isn't your right WhatsApp number, or maybe you don't have WhatsApp on your phone yet. When I put you in, it didn't recognize the number. So we can follow up with that. And I'll be reaching out to people individually if I didn't get you added to the group yet. Okay. All right. Masks. We already talked about that a little bit.
About masks.
Yep.
Okay. I want to pick on Juan because I see him. He's in Ecuador. Juan, what's the currency in Ecuador?
We use dollars for everything.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
So that's the
awesome.
exchange rate.
I don't know.
It's 1-to-1, 1-to-1, 1-to-1.
All right. What is, you guys can put in the chat, what's the currency for Costa Rica? Colones. All right.
Colones,
How
yeah.
many colones to the dollar? Okay, so this is crazy. In February is 530, I think, or last summer, it's gone up to 680 colones to the dollar.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It is lots of math. Yes.
It's not as easy as it used to be. Okay. Sissy wants to know if it's raining every day.
Yeah, it was just kind of random. Like it'll rain here and there pretty much every day, but it's very random.
Is it comfortable temperature in Ecuador?
A little chilly. I mean, I'm from Denver, Colorado. It's very similar to that. Like a little chilly, not too bad.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank
Okay.
you. Okay, so some important documents to have on hand. Obviously, you can't travel without your passport, but we also want you to have a picture of your passport on your phone and old-fashioned photograph, not photograph. What's it called? Copy.
A copy.
A
scan,
copy, a scan.
printout.
Okay, in your luggage. So kind of have them separated. And then all of our Ecuador participants, you have received an email from iNext with your travel insurance policy. Many of those are going into junk and spam, I'm hearing. Okay, Costa Rica participants, you will get an email from iNext with your travel insurance policy next week. Okay, some of you have done a more comprehensive insurance policy, which is absolutely fine. You can have both. Okay. Program handbook. Rory, give us the update on our program handbook.
Yep, it's coming soon. It is pretty much ready. I just need to package it into a good format for you. But yes, it will be electronic, and you'll be able to download it or print it if you want to, or save it to your phone so you always have it, you know, that kind of thing. There's some readings in there, some reflective activities in there, and there are some resources in there for you to refer to as we go through the program.
Yeah. If you didn't get the iNext policy for Ecuador, check your spam and junk. And if not, then let us know. So check that, because most of it, the majority of it's going to spam and junk. Okay. And then our program itinerary, again, you guys can print it out, but it's on a Google Doc, because things can sometimes shift and change. So we are constantly updating that Google itinerary. We have at the bottom of this Google document is enlaces importantes, where you can find your itinerary, but really the pre-departure course is your hub for finding itinerary, placement tests, host family information, all the volunteer work there. We try to make it as comprehensive as possible. Okay, so those are things you need to have on you. Rory, your turn. Te toca a ti.
All right. So COVID 72 hours before. So you're going to get your COVID test. You're going to email that result to Samantha. Again, we talked about a home test is 100% fine. Have a witness there, take a picture, send it in. Good to go. In Ecuador, there is a traveler's health declaration. And so you need to complete that within 72 hours of your departure. For that, you need your passport, you need flight info, you need your final destination, which is Otavalo, contact number where you'll be. And so we've got all those details there for you to fill out that traveler information. You don't need that in Costa Rica, so don't worry about it. That requirement was dropped. Okay.
Yeah. Going back to the chat. So basic travel insurance is included with your program price. And the best way to get money in both countries, the best exchange rate is through an ATM. So
yes. And someone was asking, yes, there is travel insurance included with your program. So yes, that's all. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. All right. So this is also equally really important. Okay. So you want to make sure that we have your correct flight information. Okay. So confirm your travel day plans. So Ecuador, okay, you're going to click on this link and make sure that we have your correct flight information. If it changes, like one changed recently, go ahead and update this document and send us a message as well. Eugenio in Ecuador is the language school director. He'll be picking some of you guys up and taking you to our hotel or to Otavalo. Juan is working with Eugenio right now. And Juan, was that transition pretty easy?
Yeah, he's super communicative. So he's always there, and yeah, super helpful.
But he can't communicate with you unless you put your WhatsApp number, your phone number in this pickup plan document. Okay. Yeah. So that is how he'll communicate with you. Costa Rica, here's your arrival and pickup plan. This Costa Rica document still needs a little bit of work from you guys, getting your flights in there and everything. Okay. Yeah. So you are going to want to open up these two documents. And these links are also in your program itinerary. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to want to open up, confirm your flight details, and add your WhatsApp number. Okay. Yeah. So you guys should all have editing privileges to those documents as well.
Ann Bowman has a question. How do you get a printout of your travel insurance? It's coming, Ann, to your email, but Ann, you're Costa Rica. That hasn't been issued yet. But as Leslie was saying a few minutes ago, some of these are ending up in junk and spam from iNext. So we'll let everyone know when health insurance goes out for Costa Rica, and you just need to make sure that it's made it to your inbox. Okay. All right.
Okay, here are some enlaces importantes. Here's your program itinerary. In these program itineraries, you'll find the pickup plans. You'll find this health pass information for Ecuador. We forgot to link the volunteer planning document here.
Oh yeah,
so
we did.
We need to do that.
I'll do that now.
And yes, so those are the enlaces importantes in there.
Sissy had a question in there about the province in Ecuador. It's Imbabura. And so I put it in here. Imbabura province is Otavalo. Sorry, Sissy, you asked that question earlier. So thanks for asking it again.
All right. So this is the list of friendly reminders. At this point, I'm going to pause and just, if there's any other questions, drop them in the chat. I know some of you have to leave. We are recording this meeting, so we'll get it up there tomorrow, hopefully. All right. While you're thinking of your questions, here is the dreaded lista de delincuentes. Okay, so this is really important for us because if we don't have your registration, we don't have your placement exam, we can't put you in a family, we can't get you in the right Spanish class. We are way past the point of reserving enough Spanish teachers and host families and things like that. So super importante. Final payments need to be taken care of course. Flight itineraries, submit a copy of your passport. This is just so we have like a third backup plan, contingency plan. If you lose your phone, if you lose your passport, we have a copy of it, and that makes it easier for us to get to the embassy and get the paperwork started. COVID vaccination card as well. And then just a few of you still need to take your placement exams. Okay. So this was updated as of 9 a.m. this morning. So if you took care of any of this stuff between now and 9:30, 10 this morning, then this is already outdated. And thank you for taking care of that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Good question. Caitlin's asking, should we wear our masks inside the host families? No, you do not need to.
No.
All these host families are comfortable receiving you, and they're excited to meet you, and they want you to feel like at home.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yes, Julie, this is the last meeting. Okay.
So she's wondering what she does for coordinating her lesson for the volunteer work.
Okay, so we're going to open up breakout rooms here soon, but you'll really want to get into that host or the volunteer lesson. Go into the Google document and you'll find a partner, or you can start your own activity station in there.
Yeah.
So, yep. All right.
Okay, so Katie asks about computers. How necessary are they to bring? All right, so there are handouts that you will get in your class. There is a small workbook that you'll get in your classes as well. You'll want a separate notebook for making your notes and things like that. Computers are great for some of the volunteer work planning that we do, not required. Sometimes viewing, shared documents and things like that on your phone is kind of small and hard. But if Katie, your volunteer work is really more hands-on type work and not, any kind of showing any presentation or anything like that, then you shouldn't have a need for a computer. Okay. All right. Casey, no problem. You can use Wi-Fi for a Zoom meeting while you are traveling. Yes, perfect. And Leslie's dropping volunteer work documents in there, Costa Rica and Ecuador. And soon, after we take your questions, we're going to transition into doing some planning there. So what other questions do you have that you can drop into the chat area here? Yes, Denise, you'll be able to sit in most places where we're going, so that's not a problem. In addition to that, if walking's not comfortable getting to and from your host family to classes and that sort of thing, there's plenty of Uber and taxi options available for catching a ride to and from. Okay.
For our teacher participants in Costa Rica, yes, you will get to go into schools after I'm trying to find, I have too many documents here open, after their break. And so that will happen. I'll show you right here. I think it's week 4. So the 19th through the 21st and beyond, teachers will be in schools in Costa Rica. Okay. Yeah. Assisting teachers. These first 2 weeks, all schools are closed in Costa Rica, and this first week of program in Costa Rica, we are all working with the SEDCAS organization.
Yep, yep.
So,
I want to take a question from Sarah. Are the people we're working with probably vaccinated? There's a high vaccination rate in both Ecuador and Costa Rica. It's impossible to know every individual's, circumstance and situation. But yes, it's likely that the people we're working with are vaccinated. Let's see, what else? Same goes for Tori. Your question about host families, high likelihood. In fact, I think Ecuador required, yeah.
Ecuador, the host families are required. Costa Rica, the majority of them are vaccinated.
The majority of them are vaccinated, yeah. Let's see. What else? What other questions do we
Julie
have?
Boone, here is the lesson planning template right here. It's in the Google Doc. It's linked. It says use this template to help plan your activity. Okay, and here's
Okay.
some Spanish sentence starters, vocabulary to help you as well.
Sissy, the county is
Where do we
Imbabura.
find this? Sorry, where do we find this Google Docs when we're done with this meeting? Is it in the pre-registration?
Everything's in the pre-departure
Okay.
course. Yep, everything is.
Yep.
Yep,
And did you drop the link in? for
and
this?
it's in the chat, and
Okay.
it's in this Google Doc as well.
So if
right
you open
here.
it now, you'll have it, Julie.
Okay,
Yep.
Yep.
thank you.
So Sissy, Imbabura, and I put it in this document that Leslie is sharing. Imbabura is the province that Otavalo is for your health form. Okay. Let's see.
Miranda, I'm going to open up this document. There are a lot of Google Docs, so thank you, but everything is in your either itinerary pre-departure course. Miranda, you are staying. You are booked right here. Where's your name? Right here. And I have a reservation for all these people that arrive later in the evening at Quinta San Felipe. Okay, so that is where we're staying. So if you're on this list for Ecuador, this is where we're staying the first night once we arrive into Ecuador.
Samuel Corey had that question. Is he on the list?
Nope. Sam. Eugenio's picking you up.
Right there, yeah.
Yep. And taking you to, yes, you're coming in a day early, taking you on the 10th to stay at San Felipe. And then everything's on this document. And then on the 11th, you will go with this group right here to Otavalo.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, great. There's some more questions in here. Valerie is asking if we get there a day early, just book any airport hotel and set up our pickup the next day with our host family directly. Okay, Valerie, so it's different depending on the country. And I'm thinking, Valerie, you are Costa Rica and not Ecuador, but I'm not 100% sure.
Valerie
Valerie Ecuador?
Yeah,
Okay.
right here.
No, that Valerie Williams, different
Oh,
Valerie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Valerie
Yeah.
Williams, Costa Rica.
Yeah, Costa Rica. So Valerie, what day are you getting in then?
Just the evening before,
The
the
evening, so
the 24th.
the 24th. You know, the best, if it's before like 9 o'clock or so, then we'll just have your host family pick you up then and get you settled in with your host family a day early. If you're getting in late, then yeah, we'll have you stay at a hotel, and I'll give you a link. If you want to shoot me a quick email, I'll send you a link of a great airport hotel. Okay, what's your flight arrival time?
It's 8:45, so like kind of
That's
borderline.
perfect for your family
So-
to pick you up. So what we need to do is have you in the in the arrival plan for Costa Rica, and then we'll get that sorted out.
So all these specific, changes or dates need to go in the arrival plan so we can coordinate it.
Yeah, right here is the arrival plan. Yep. So just make sure your name is on there and your flight info is on there, and that way we can get your pickup coordinated. Okay.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, so we're going to let's see, I recreated some breakout rooms, and you're going to put yourself in a breakout room with your partner. Okay. So I know specifically, because I've been looking at the teachers have partners. A lot of them have partners. So you can go ahead, and I'm going to open the rooms. All right, you're back. Some of you are back, hopefully with more clarity. Okay, than when you left. All right, so we're gonna hang on for a couple more minutes, but if you need to leave, you don't have questions, you can go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you either in Ecuador or Costa Rica. We're super excited. Thanks for hanging in there, because there are 72 people on the meeting tonight, 72 individual questions. So we appreciate your patience and with us getting back to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to ask one quick. So you have the list of who's staying who is not able to get picked up for Ecuador. Do you have that list for Costa Rica as well? And where can I find it?
Yes, we do. And I will put it in the chat right here.
So I saw that it has what time I'm arriving, but it doesn't say, like, it's 8:45, so it's on the border, I think,
No,
of family.
You'll be picked up, Pauline, no problem.
Okay, great.
You'll be picked up. Yep. So the general rule of thumb in Costa Rica is you're going to be picked up by your host family. If you get in super late, then we'll be talking with you about your arrival.
Individually, great.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the general rule is your host family's picking you up.
Great, thank you.
You bet.
Mm-hmm. And I put that link in the chat. All right.
So if I
So,
may,
I'm so sorry to cut off. I arrive at 9:10 in Costa Rica. That's like 10 minutes past the cutoff time. Will I have somebody pick up, or I'm going to be kind of an exception?
No, you'll be fine, Gina. We'll have you pick. We'll get you picked up at that time of night. Yep, in Costa Rica.
All right. Sarah had a question.
well, thanks. If I'm coming in the 30th and it turns out I have someone I know who is, they say they're in Gringolandia, so you may know where that is. I don't know, but he has a Airbnb. You guys were going to pick me up on Saturday morning to go to the excursion.
Okay.
If I'm staying somewhere else and not at the airport Holiday Inn, where would be the best place to meet you? Should I text you separately about this?
Yeah, text us separately, because we
We'll
need to
the
make sure it's
address.
on the
Yeah,
way.
we'll need the address. We'll need to know where.
Well,
it
I
is.
would go to wherever you need to meet me.
Okay.
So if that means I need to get myself to that hotel and you pick me up there, or I can meet you at the park or wherever, I'll text you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
text us.
Probably
That'd be
just the
great.
park. Yeah. Probably just in Santo Domingo would be the easiest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be great, Sarah. Mhm.
perfect. All right. Katie, Maria, Elizabeth, Tori, Gina, more questions?
I wondered about, so with the changes with the COVID testing to come back to the United States, would a home test work? Could we bring them with us, or do we still need to buy them in Costa Rica?
So there's a service, Abbott Labs, and Binax. You can buy the test and buy a proctoring service.
And that works.
And that works. You'll want to get on the cdc.gov website and see what are the official tests that offer the proctoring that the US accepts.
Yeah.
Do we need to do that before we leave, or is that something that we'll all be figuring out when we're there?
I think it's a particular test that you have to buy. I don't think it's just any test and you sign up for the service. I think it's a particular box that you buy.
So you'll need to
that
do it before
comes
you.
with that service. So you need to do it before you go. But if that doesn't work out, it's fine to just do the testing in one of the labs there in Costa Rica.
We will, for all our participants that don't do that proctoring service, we have a partnership with a lab in Santo Domingo, and we set you up with an appointment, and you get your test. How much does it cost?
It's about $40 or $50.
$40 or
something like
$50.
that, yeah.
So we'll set that up ahead of time for you guys. When you get down there, we'll send you to the lab. It's close. It's right in the town that we're living and working in
Yeah.
and everything. So
It's easy to do. And the airport offers it as well, Katie, just so you know. If you're at the airport, I think you want to be there like 4 hours early instead of 3.
yeah.
To do it that way at the airport. But yeah, check around and see online. All I know is one doctor had that test in Costa Rica this past February. That's the only time I've seen it. So I don't know that much about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
We probably won't worry about that. We were just gonna, because since we'll be in Panama, we thought, well, we could buy home tests and have them in our luggage and then take them in Panama before we come to Costa Rica. Would that
Yeah,
work?
that
Yes,
could, yeah, that could
that's
work for our
fine.
program.
yeah, that's
Absolutely.
fine. That's
Yep.
fine for the
Come
program.
into and then, okay,
Yeah.
we'll probably just go with what everyone else is doing to get out of
Yeah.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
We keep waiting
Okay.
for that requirement to drop in the States, but it hasn't. So, mhm.
All right. Maria, do you have a question? And then
No,
we'll
thank you.
get Gina. Okay. And Tori, I think Tori and Elizabeth are just hanging on.
I have one more. If we come up with questions in the next few days, I know you guys are taking off. Can we still get answers from support at Common Ground, or is Vanessa going to be there with you? And I mean, is it going to be hard to get answers?
Vanessa's around. Samantha actually is manages the support address. Vanessa manages the admin address. But yes, you can email. You can email any of us. And what I was mentioning with one of the breakout rooms is that we'll have time in the afternoons when everyone's in classes in Ecuador to be doing like computer work.
Okay.
But in the morning hours, don't expect a response. Yeah.
Okay, so the best idea would be just send to that email and if they need to contact you.
Yep.
if they
Yeah.
can answer it,
That's
they'll
right.
let you know. Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. 'Cause I'm certain I'm gonna have more, so. Thank you, you guys are awesome.
Thanks.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So Katie and I, well, more like me, I wanted to stay with Katie in the same place. Are we allowed to do that, or are they going to separate?
Yeah. You indicated that, right, on your registration form?
Yes.
You guys did. And so I think we're already working on finding you guys a family together.
Okay.
Is that still the plan? That's
Maybe
still-
Katie doesn't want to stay with me.
She gave her thumbs up. There we go. Perfect.
Muchas gracias. Y buenas noches.
Con
Buenas
gusto.
noches.
Buenas noches. Elizabeth,
I think Gina had a question too.
yeah, Elizabeth, how many people are doing the Adams University? At least I've heard, I don't get the final class list until we go down there, but I think at least 6 or 7 people are.